If you're a seller in this market, here's how to pick the best offer. We all know it is a seller's market right now. It is springtime in 2022 and homes are flying off the shelf just like they were for the last 18 months. Number one, the purchase price. Duh. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the price that your house is selling for. That's going to tell you what it's worth, right? So, ideally, the higher the price, the better, right? Wrong. Just because it's a higher price doesn't necessarily mean that the overall strength of the contract is good. One of the strategies that I've seen from buyers is they come in, they have a ridiculous purchase price, and then they come in and they try to negotiate way down. And when I mean like way down, I mean they try to negotiate $20,000, $30,000 of repairs on a $420,000 house. Okay? So the highest price isn't always the best price, but it's definitely the first thing to take a look at. All right? Number two, the type of financing that they're using. Are they financing with cash? Strike that. Are they financing with a lender or are they paying cash? Okay? Obviously, cash is king, right? If they're paying with cash, that is a stronger offer. Now, most people paying with cash on a home know that they're writing a stronger offer, and as such, will typically write a reduced offer. So if you're talking about your home that's listed at market price, they may come in slightly under market price. All right? Let's say it's a loan, okay? How much down payment are they putting down on that loan? What type of loan is it? Is it an FHA, a VA loan, or a conventional loan? Is it a conventional loan with 5% down, or is it a conventional loan with 35% down? All of those are different, okay? VA and FHA loans are not allowed to waive the appraisal. VA loans and FHA loans cannot fund a home that comes in below appraised value. The buyer would have to make up the cash between that and not impact the cash that they're using for closing on either one of those loans. In a conventional loan, buyers can waive the appraisal, partially waive the appraisal, or leave the loan subject to the appraisal. Okay? How much they put down on a conventional loan is also going to be important to review. Let's say your buyer retains the right to terminate the contract due to a low appraised value. Well, if they put 5% down, they may not have the extra cash to come up with to compensate that difference or to make up that difference between the low appraised value and the sales price, and your contract has the risk of busting out. Now, let's say that they put down 30% and you know that they can still have the same loan structure at 20%. Now they've got a 10% slush fund there that they can use to cover the low appraisal. All right. All right. Number 4 on my reasons. Did I just skip number 3? The strength of the option fee or no option fee at all. Now here in Texas, we don't have contingencies on inspections, okay? What we have is called an option period where we as Texans, the buyers will pay for the unrestricted right to terminate the contract for a certain period of time, usually between 7 and 10 days, okay? And the buyers pay for that. They'll pay $150, $250, maybe $400, depending on the size of the house and the size of the contract. All right. And during that time, the buyer gets all of their inspections done and will negotiate any repairs with the sellers, or they can walk away. Now, a strong offer, how am I going to say this? The higher the amount of money the buyer is paying for the option fee, in addition with the lower amount of days, makes for the stronger offer. That's going to be the best scenario for the seller. So if a buyer comes in with $1,000 option fee for 5 to 7 days, that's a really strong option period. That buyer is putting down some serious cash, $1,000, and they're saying, look, I want to buy the house, otherwise I lose that $1,000. Because what happens if the buyer terminates the contract and walks away? That option fee goes to the seller. So option fee is something that the buyers pay the sellers for the unrestricted right to terminate the contract for any reason. Number 4 or 5. At this point, we're unclear which one it is. Does the buyer need any help with closing costs? So there's a section in the contract where the buyer can ask for closing costs, whether it be a couple $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 back towards closing. Now, the strongest offer will have no help from the seller on closing costs, and the weaker offer will require some, will be asking for some closing cost help. That has been uncommon in this market because this market has not tolerated individuals who don't have the cash to close. It's just the nature of the game right now. Number 6, how well is that contract written? Now, number 6 may sound kind of strange, all right? So you're going to have to hear me out on this, all right? When I, as an agent, come in and I'm trying to summarize all of the details of all of these contracts that are coming in on my property or on my listing. And if there is a contract that isn't completely filled in, but it's been signed, I'm going to have serious questions about that real estate agent and whether or not they have what it takes to get the contract to close. Okay? If the contract isn't all filled in, and it isn't all filled in completely and correctly, that makes me think that their agent doesn't have a lot of attention to detail per se. Maybe they're too busy. Maybe they're only a part-time agent. Okay? And that worries me that I may not be able to communicate or get a hold of the other agent when something hits the fan. All right? So, number 6, right? How well is that contract filled out? Number 7, the strength of their pre-approval letter. What? For every single one of those offers that is financed with a loan, I call each of those lenders and ask them a few basic questions. When I call them, I'm basically saying I wanted to verify that the pre-approval letter is correct and up to date. I also want to make sure that they ran the credit check and did a verification of income and assets. And then I need to find out if they have cash to close. Are they going to need help with the closing costs? If it's an FHA loan or a VA loan and they need help with closing costs, I'm going to ask, how much help do they need? How much help are they looking from the seller to get to closing? And what is that going to be, the impact? Because FHA has a limit on what you can get towards seller contributions towards financing. Okay? And finally, sellers pick offers based on convenience. If the seller needs a 30 or 60 or 90-day leaseback, they're going to pick the offer that allows them to do that to fit in with their convenience and their time frame. My name is Cynthia Contreras. I'm a real estate agent with the Houston, Texas home team. I hope that answers your questions on how sellers pick the best offers out here. If you have any questions, comment below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and click that notification bell. See you next time. Bye. Number 7. One second. Can you hear the front door?